I live for this moment right here because of your smiles, your eyes, your energy, and this is it. So we're going to try to do some stuff here. Today we're going to talk about three things, and I'll try to put it into context you understand. First, we're going to talk about the cookie, because who doesn't love cookies? We're going to talk about the core, and we're going to talk about the cloudburst. And that is what we're going to go to, and I'll get to where we're going to go in just a second. But I got to start with cookies, people. I love cookies. Can you tell? Where is my cookie? There it is, my cookie. Do you like chocolate chip cookies? Listen, I haven't met anybody on the planet that doesn't like chocolate chip cookies. Do you have a favorite chocolate chip cookie? Of course you do. You know what mine is? My mom's is the best, and you shouldn't argue with me. Do you understand? My mom's is the best. Here's the thing about chocolate chip cookies, man. They're amazing, they're awesome, and they're so different, but the deal is the ingredients are exactly the same, but yet somehow, some way, your mom's is the best, my mom's is the best, my grandmother's is different, and it's the best. But it's just the same ingredients. We're going to come back to cookies in just a minute. The other thing that's been really on my mind is this thing that's happening out in Hawaii. This unbelievable explosion of lava. Have you been paying attention? Yes? It's unbelievable to me, friends, that this lava thing is happening. And it's got such an impact on me and my understanding of the world in a different way, and thus my understanding of me. You can't tell it by the pictures, but those lava streams are actually 164 feet high. Just in case you want a reference point, when you leave and walk around campus, that's the size of the bell tower on this campus. That if you stand there and look at the bell tower, there is lava that spurting high out of the ground. That lava continues to flow through Hawaii. And it is creating this unbelievable river of lava. From its starting point until it hits the ocean, it is 8 miles long. That is the size of 4 national malls. And it's not just sitting there, it's moving. It's moving at paces of 17 miles per hour. Now put it in perspective for anybody. The fastest humans on the earth run 12 miles per hour. So imagine standing next to this unbelievable thing, and it is flowing by you faster than the fastest humans we know. This thing is a powerful, powerful source. The other amazing thing that it's doing, and you can kind of see it in this idea, it is actually transforming the land. It is changing the land in Hawaii. It will never, ever, ever look the same again. It is adding space. It is changing it. That is a powerful source. And it all comes from the core of the earth. The core of where that starts and comes through. Ladies and gentlemen, you have an unbelievable core I want to talk about today. Because your core can do the same thing that's happening that we see in Hawaii. And I think for us, it's about channeling our real energy. And what do I mean by that? Channeling our real energy. Listen, what's on the surface is beautiful. There is nothing wrong with what is there. But I have this belief that it is not as powerful as what is at the center of your core. And I wonder, friends, I wonder what it is on the surface that's not allowing your real energy to come out, to rechange the landscape of your Hawaii, to run 17 miles an hour out of you. Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it some ridiculous, high, unrealistic expectation? Is it peer pressure? What is it that's not allowing what's here to get out? And I know that each of you have it. We all do. The beauty about this place is, man, it is just covered in volcanoes. Each of you are your own volcano ready to change the landscape for not only you, but the people around you. And friends, this is the place. Fran mentioned, I was in your seat, and I remember like it was yesterday, and it began a transformation for me that allowed me to figure out who I am, what my real energy is all about. Let me talk to you about it in a different way. There's an awesome author out there, and he's a speaker, and he's a thought leader. His name's Simon Sinek. And if we think about this core, he talks about the 3 questions that we ask ourselves in our lives. The first one is what? The second one is how? And at the core is why. Sinek talks about the idea that every single person on the planet understands what they do or what we do. But as you go deeper into the core, nobody really understands the why, or very few. The most successful, I hate that word, but the people who get their why, that find their core, are able to explode out into the world. Because it's easy to go from what to why. It's hard to go from why to what. Sinek also says this, and I believe in it fully. No one cares what you do. They care why you do it. No one cares what you do. They care why you do it. And let me prove it to you. Would you please close your eyes? Play the game. Thanks for playing. I love being here. I'm going to prove it to you. I want you to think about, in the most detail possible, your favorite elementary school teacher. I want you to see him or her, the classroom. Maybe you can even smell the smells of that space. Open your eyes. 90% of you, like every room that I get to talk about this with, did this. Think about your favorite elementary school teacher. And this beautiful smile comes across your face. And it isn't because you remember them teaching you 2 + 2. And it isn't because you remember that the plant cycle moved from seed to If we had the chance and we were in a smaller setting, I would ask you, what do you remember? And you would say, I remember the way they loved me. I remember the way they made learning fun. I remember the way they took care of me. I remember the fact that I felt safe. Am I right? Yes or no? Yeah, that's because no one cares what you do. They care why you do it. And you cared why, and they cared why about you. Because those elementary school teachers are famous for it. They let their core just explode out of them. They let their core explode so that our why starts to look like that. Friends, if we can figure out to let that core come out of us, we're going to be in great shape. And this is a great place to start. Unfortunately, we don't set ourselves up very well. When we introduce ourselves to people, we walk up and we go, "Hi, how are you? What's your name?" "Bob." "Hi, I'm JR. Nice to meet you. What do you do?" "I play the flute. I'm a drummer." "Okay." And that's kind of where the conversation stops, yes or no? Can you imagine if you started with your why through words? "Hi, I'm JR, and I'm really excited about changing the way you think about yourself and your leadership, and I can't wait to do it with you." Freak. Am I right? You'd probably take a couple steps back and go, "Whoa." So the words actually aren't enough for us to do that. Do you understand? We aren't given those tools. But you understand the way your elementary school teacher felt about you. They use things like love. They use things like caring, like focus, like listening, like the things you're learning about today and tomorrow and the rest of the week. That's the stuff, friends, that can make it right. You have to have the right ingredients in that core to let it bubble up and transform your landscape. We can get back to cookies, and it's a funny thing about cookies, right? If you know anything, who bakes? Come on, raise your hand, who bakes? Thank you, good for you. I'm glad that's happening. We're not buying Oreos. We're actually making cookies from scratch. Listen, here's the deal. There's a bunch of good ingredients there, but if I do them in the wrong order, that's gonna be a disastrous cookie. I mean, I'm probably still gonna eat it, but it's not gonna be my best cookie. Does that make sense? And if we could have the time to make cookies tonight, I would. But we're gonna take some different ingredients to create a different product. There are 4 elements that create the most beautiful sounds that we can make tonight. Can you do them with me? The first one is snapping your fingers. The second one is just rubbing your hands together. The third one is clapping your legs. And the fourth one is stomping your feet. If we took the opportunity and I said, "Would you please choose one of those sounds, go?" it sounds like a cacophony. It sounds like something that isn't ready to be delivered. And it sounds like our ingredients are in the wrong place. But if we take that idea and deliver it with the how and the why, we can make something beautiful together. When you gather the right ingredients, you put them in an unbelievable correct space. You allow your core to come out and allow the how and the why to take over the what. You can do anything, including making it rain in here. Which if I might have told you that from the beginning, you might have looked at me and said, no. And that barrier would not allow that volcano to rise out of you to play the game and give and find what's real inside of you. So I'll challenge you, let it go, in the words of my good friend Elsa. This is a beautiful place where I hope, with everything that I know in my core, that you can allow your why to shine and really, really continue to figure out exactly what it is and why it is and how you can be the best leader that you want to be. I love this weekend. I love this space, and I love you. Thank you.